Hey, I just needed to come on here just for a second. I think I'm partially venting, so y'all forgive me. But I was just in the home office the home gym that my family put together for me some years ago. And so I'm in there and I'm working out and I'm enjoying my time because I've got it scheduled for a certain amount of time. And then I go from there into my first call of the day, right? So my phone's ringing and I'm not looking at the phone. Y'all, excuse me. Like I said, I was just in the home gym. So I just finished with my weights and I just finished with the treadmill. So I know I probably look a hot food mess. I try to put my hair up. But anyway, um, here's what I'm venting about. Somebody that I have scheduled for May the 19th called me this morning while I was on the treadmill. So I kindly reminded them, hey, we've got this set for May the 19th. And she says to me, oh, no, I understand that, but I just thought that we could go ahead and have a phone call today. Like, excuse me? How are you infringing on my time? We set this up for May 19th. You're not a client, you're not a prospective customer. You are looking to have me as a prospective customer, and I respect that. I respect your craft. I respect everything that you're doing. I respect your product, and I want to purchase your product. I just want to have that meeting on the date that we scheduled on May the 19th because I'm right now in the gym trying to get my time in. I've got to stay focused. And I don't know if some of you have problems with attention deficit, but if you got any kind of attention issues, it's like an affront. It's an attack on your schedule when people come and infringe or create a distraction. So I want to ask you, how do you personally ensure that your time is spent wisely? What I did was kindly ask the young lady if we could just wait until the 19th, but she proceeded. So see, I had to stop working out to talk to her. Now I hear somebody saying, you should have never answered. And you're right. You're right. I should have never answered. But what happened was it was a reflex because, I answer all of my calls. I service the public. And because I'm a somewhat of a public servant, I always answer my calls if I'm available, if I have an opportunity to. So I didn't look down to see if I recognized a number or anything. I just answered on reflex. And now I'm on the call with her. But really, how do you personally ensure that your time is spent wisely? Time is with no doubt one of the most precious resources that we can have. Because see, we can't renew it. It's non-renewable. Yeah, it's irreversible. Once you start to use it, now you're into that time. It's constantly being used. We don't even know if it's being replenished. We just have to make the most of it. Making time is very important. Scheduling it, you know what I'm saying? So when this lady just insisted on continuing to talk, when I reminded her, hey, we have a appointment scheduled on the 19th. I like your product. I'm interested in hearing what you have to say, which is why we set aside that time. And she continued to push. Well, I just figured I could call today. But what made you think you can call and infringe on my time today? No. So you have to guard your time. There's a philosopher, Seneca. You guys might know this philosopher. You might have studied some of the work. But Seneca says or has stated that it's not that we have a short time to live, but is that we waste a lot of it. It's not that we have a short time to live. It's what we're doing with it. We waste a lot of it. We allow other people to infringe on our time, to encroach on our time, to just step in and create their own easement in our time. Excuse me? When we look at the fact that time is invaluable, see, it's not like money or material possessions. Even when people say time is money, actually, you can't put a price on time. Time is invaluable. It's something we can never get back once we release it, once we use that energy of time. There's no amount of wealth that can purchase more time for us. I don't care who we are. And there's no amount of effort that we can use to retrieve lost hours, like that time that I lost while I had to stop working out on the I think I was on cardio. I had to stop working out on the cardio to be cordial to this woman on the phone. Yes, it was my fault. I should not have answered. I hear all of you saying that, but it still kind of vexed me, because how do you, if we have a time schedule, how do you think you can just reach in there and take my time? What is that? So anyway, throughout history, we've had leaders and thinkers that have urged people to guard their time wisely. Yep. Like Benjamin Franklin, if you remember, he used to say lost time is never found again. We've studied that. What he was doing was emphasizing that the irreplaceability of every moment is a factor. Albert Einstein had a theory about reshaping how we understand time scientifically. So what he noted was that we have to receive the effects of time on our reality, like a phenomenon that we often feel by those who with attention deficit disorders. You know, when you're accustomed to trying to do all these things at one time, it's difficult to harness a focus. And when you get in a rhythm of harnessing your focus, it feels detrimental. It feels like an attack when someone comes and now you finally got your focus together to be consistent. And here comes somebody. What? So it feels like if you don't have this issue, you don't understand what I'm talking about. But if you have a problem with attention, some type of deficit at all in your attention, then it feels like time is fragmented. You know, it just feels like your time is going like this. It's fragmented, that you can never just get a whole of your time. I don't mean a whole, I mean a whole of your time, so that you can do with it what you need to, because your mind is always going like this. So when you get a time when you can designate focus, then it becomes a problem when people just come in. And that's why you have to actively take control of your time. That's why I began by asking, how do you personally ensure that your time is spent wisely? It's a question that we all need to ask ourselves, especially those of us who have a problem with centering our focus, our attention. So there's a science behind time management. I learned this a long time ago in my young adult years, and this is before they really knew anything about attention deficit. This was decades ago, when it was still considered a taboo. Nobody wanted to touch it, but I started researching different science. Whatever science was available, I was researching it. I went to classes. I learned as much as I could. I wanted to understand my chemistry release, my biochemistry release, and endocrine system, and all of these things that could help. Because I knew I was going to be raising children. I just needed to understand everything I could about science management. So for people that have attention deficit or some type of hyperactivity going on in their attention, it's something similar to cognitive challenges in terms of time management. It's not that they can't manage their time. It's that there's so much that's overwhelming them that they want to get done at one time. And all of these things seem to be prioritized, so they don't have them tiered. So it's difficult to know what to do first. You're trying to do them all at the same time. And studies show that individuals that have deficit issues in terms of attention, they struggle with time blindness. So they get focused on a particular thing or several things at one time. They forget about the time because the objective in their brain is to finish. And it's not like you can just turn it off. You've got to finish that thing. And so it can begin to move into time that you have planned for something else. It's an inability to accurately perceive and plan for time. And no matter how you try to plan, something's going to get in your way. Oh my God. Whoo. So research in neuropsychology suggests that that our prefrontal cortex, the brain's region responsible for executing function and operations and language, and so what happens there, it sees the person with a deficit issue, it sees it differently. It operates differently when it's making a schedule or time adherence, particularly those things where it needs to be structured, routines, it becomes difficult. So if you can set a structure and you can firmly keep that structure, it can help you show improvement in your well-being, which is why you got to guard it. It's very important. It's a discipline. So since we don't control how much time we have in our lifetime, nor do we know when our time will come to an end, protecting our minutes and our hours are essential. They're essential for our self-care. So this means saying no to distractions, setting boundaries, like not answering your phone when you're doing your cardio, and refusing to let external forces control the way we spend our time, which is our most valuable asset. Never say time is money, because time is invaluable. You have no control over it. There's no amount of money that can pay for that. I know that we have to sell our time in order to produce income to provide for our living, yes, but it's not that time is money, unless you put a price on it, and it's difficult to put a price on it because, again, it's invaluable. So one profound reminder that we have, it comes from an author, Carl Sandburg. I think you guys, if you've ever heard any of my sermonettes or talks or read any of my books, and you've seen me mention Carl several times. But anyway, he says that time is a coin of your life. It is the only coin you have, and only you can determine how that time is utilized or spent or circulated. Now, this means that prioritizing time, sticking to schedules, and respecting personal boundaries are not just about productivity. They're about self-worth. Literally, when there's a person that has a problem with attention in terms of a deficit or disorder, listen, it's about your self-worth, because they can't make you feel any kind of way, but you begin to feel a certain way when it's like you can never be on time. It starts to chip away at your self-worth. Listen, I know what I'm talking about. So you've got to be intentional. Take control. Yeah, if your time is stolen by distractions or procrastination or external pressures, or people calling you when you already scheduled them for something and they want to infringe on your time and just go all outside of the schedule anyway, you have to reclaim your time. So what this requires is that you've got to set a firm schedule. You got to stick with it, minimize unnecessary distractions like technical issues or idle conversations, comments that don't serve us, or commitments that are not really going to serve us. We want to practice being mindful, being aware, and recognizing when time is slipping away, respecting your own limits and ensuring others respect them too. Ultimately, guarding one's time is not being selfish. It's a necessity. And people don't understand what you're dealing with. And they don't have to understand. You know, and you're responsible. Because they're going to say what they're going to say anyway. But you're responsible. They'll try to use up your time and then criticize you, as if you don't have time for things that you need to get done. But you've got to be relentless in guarding your time. It's a necessity for meaningful life. Just like Leonardo da Vinci said, time stays long enough for those who use it. So I'm going to ask you again, how do you personally ensure that your time is spent wisely? One of the first things that I am going to do is never answer the phone again when I'm working out. Guys, thank you for allowing me to vent. I needed to do this. Y'all have a good one. Guard your time.